right, let's move on to the Rose Bowl. 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN between number 11 Utah and number 6 Ohio State. The Buckeyes are a 4-point favorite here, over under 64. This game will, of course, be played at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. A lot of notes on the Ohio State side. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, two likely first-round draft picks of receiver. They're out. Their Petit Ferrer, their starting left tackle, he's out. Haskell Garrett, their highest-rated defender, and their interior defensive lineman, he's out. Recent practice reports, Antoine Jackson, their defensive tackle, these are all contributors. Not seen there. Starting linebacker Cody Simon, not seen. Cornerback Sevin Banks, not seen. Their starting slot, Marcus Williamson, not seen. A couple other depth guys were not seen. 18 scholarship players in all were missing from practice. So, when I look at this game, I don't know if Ohio State's beat up. They have a lot of opt-outs, huge opt-outs on the offensive side of the ball. I also don't know if they care. This is a team that had dreams of going to the college football playoff, and this is a disappointment for them. And now you're seeing that with all these opt-outs because who's excited to be here? Utah, their first ever Rose Bowl. You know who has about 6 or 7 guys who declared for the NFL draft? Utah. You know what every single one of those players is doing? Playing in this bowl game. So that shows you the difference. The Ohio State guys are not playing in the bowl that are going to the NFL. The Utah guys, they're who we have: Covey, Pledger, Sewell, Tafua. I can go on and on. They're all declared. They're all playing. Fotheringham. There's a lot of them. They all said they're going to play. And then from a matchup, and also look, I think Utah motivation, Utah cares, Utah full strength, Ohio State not. You know who else cares? Utah fans. First ever Rose Bowl. Who also doesn't care? Ohio State fans. You know where this game is, a lot closer to Utah. You see that Pac-12 title? This is probably going to be like a Utah home game. So keep that in mind as well. And then from a matchup perspective, Ohio State's defense, they allowed a lot of explosive runs, and then they allowed for teams to efficiently pass against them. Well, that's what Utah does: explosive runs and efficiently pass. Utah was ranked 8th in explosive run percentage, 23rd in passing down success rate. Ohio State, 83rd and 101st in those two categories. Utah secondary top 10 in every advanced metric, and now you don't have to face Wilson and Olave. Now, look, Ohio State has 5-star kids all over the place, but it was hard to replace. And they obviously don't have a lot of experience. It's worth noting Utah's a snooper snail. Ohio State wants to go fast, but I think this is all Utah. 4 or above, fine with me. Money line, fine with me. I think the Utes win this game.
Yeah, to me, this is a Utah money line wager that I probably should have put in before all the announcements of the players that we knew that were going to sit out on this game. So I don't think it's too late when you're listening to this. Go ahead and put in a Utah money line wager. Cam Rising has been on fire. Anybody that's in his path, he has obliterated this season. And there should be no difference here. This was an Ohio State team that was already outside the top 50 in defensive rushing success rate. Utah is going to be able to run on them all day. You look at some of the other things, finishing drives, Utah has the advantage on offense. Ohio State's number 1 in the nation in offensive finishing drives. I think CJ Stroud and Travion Henderson and the players that are left are going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but it's going to take a couple quarters for them to get acclimated with the new players and the new positions. This is the first time out. And there's no way I would back Ohio State early in this game, considering all the transitions that Stuckey just mentioned. Now, can Ohio State come back in the third quarter? Maybe. Ryan Day's 1-2 against the spread in bowl games. Maybe he can make the adjustments at halftime. Kyle Whittingham's pretty good at doing that too. He's 8-5 against the spread in bowl games, and this is one of the biggest games in Utah program in 50 years. So this is a game where I want to lay Utah money line, and if Ohio State is lifeless, then we're sitting around with a great ticket on a live line that'll have Utah favored. And if Ohio State figures something out at halftime, we should be able to get out of it. But to me, the plan of attack is to get behind Cam Rising and this offense that is just obliterating everybody right now against an Ohio State team. And I've said this for years, that Sugar Bowl where you take an SEC team and they didn't make the college football playoff or they didn't make the national championship game, and then you sub them into the Sugar Bowl and they get blown out every year by the Big 12 and the Big 12 starts pounding their chest. That's what this game is, right? We don't have that in the Sugar Bowl this year. That's what the Rose Bowl game is. Ohio State did not want to be here, which is crazy. It's crazy in today's world that a team that doesn't want to be in the Rose Bowl. But that's the way to play it. You take Utah money line, reassess at halftime, see if Ohio State's lifeless.